Hey there, Wargamers, and thank you for joining me for this video. Today we are going to be taking a quick look. This is not a full-on in-depth review. I'm going to put that disclaimer out there first because I've only just gotten my hands on it. I have read through the whole book, but I just want to put the disclaimer out there because every time that I call one of these quick looks anything like a review, you guys annihilate me in the comments section because I don't know every aspect of it thoroughly. And you guys are mean sometimes. All right. So I wanted to share with you what I have learned and what I've read, and mostly what's new in the brand new Astra Militarum Codex. So we're gonna skip over a lot of the stuff that is old hat, and we're gonna cut to the chase on what's new and what you need to know. So that you can get up and running quickly. I know a lot of people are excited about this codex. They like Imperial Guard. They love just how quintessentially 40k this army is, with all of its armor and all of its sort of quaint World War II-esque aesthetic. So a lot of people are getting back into Guard, or I'm sorry, Astra Militarum. I'm going to just call it Guard because it's still Guard to me. But I know that a lot of people are getting back into it, myself included, and it would help to know what to buy before you get the Codex in your hands, so you just have a general idea of what you're looking for. So if you notice, I've got a whole bunch of post-it notes stuck to this thing already, and we're gonna flip through here to the first one of my notes. Let's see here. Okay, first thing, we have a brand new Warlord traits table. Of course, every 6th edition book has them. I know this is a little bit hard to read, but we'll go over them really quickly. In fact, because it's so hard to read with that glare on there, I'll just I'll go back over to the normal camera and I'll give you a quick rundown of what each thing is. You've got Grand Strategist, where you nominate D3 units and the primary detachment, and these gain outflank. That's pretty standard across a lot of codices these days. I see that one pop up a lot. Then you have Old Grudges. During deployment, before deployment infiltrators and before scouts redeploy, choose one 40k codex. The Warlord and his unit have preferred enemy against special rule against all enemies chosen from that codex. So essentially, it's kind of like some of the old special rules where they have preferred enemy against whatever it is that they're fighting. But because allies and detachments from other codices are so prevalent now, it's become necessary to sort of limit that a little bit and not make it quite as all-encompassingly awesome. Then we have Draconian Disciplinarian. And this one is friendly units from this codex within 12 inches of the Warlord do not take morale tests for suffering 25% or more casualties. So that's nice. Guard has always had lots of really brutal ways of keeping their guys in line, and this is yet another way that they've put that in there. Implacable Determination is the next one. Warlord and his units get relentless. That's pretty sweet. Let's see here. Bellowing Voices. Your Warlord has the Voice of Command special rule. If your Warlord already has Voice of Command special rule, he can issue orders to friendly units from Codex Astra Militarum within 18 inches of him. We're going to get to what exactly Voice of Command actually is and what it does, but it is essentially another... it is a group of abilities that some of the leaders from this codex can use to augment the way that the units around them are functioning. It's essentially a whole bunch of special command actions that you can give to the units around one of the HQs that has this. You can there are some HQs that don't have that special rule. And many that already do, and the ones that do, they get a bigger bubble of influence. It's normally 12, so that gives it 18. And then we have Master of Command. The Warlord has the Voice of Command special rule. If the Warlord already has the Voice of Command special rule, he can issue one additional order each turn. So there's a limit to how many orders each one of these leaders can have based on what extra special rules on top of voice of command has. You get an extra one. That's pretty cool. So you've got two things that already are interfacing with that special rule mechanic. So up next, we do have the Astra Militarum orders. I'm just going to show you the page real quick. Not that you can actually read it in the video, probably, but you know, you'll see it when you get the codex. You got a handful of abilities. How many are here? 3, 6, 9. 9 orders that you can give. Oh, my camera's freaking out a little bit. I'm really talking fast. I should probably slow down a little. I'll give you some examples of the orders. I don't think that it's necessary for me to tell you in depth every single one of these, but some of the more basic ones are that a unit within range can fire another time, or can fire and then run afterwards. Some of the really awesome ones can give tank hunter to a group of models, which is pretty sweet. So it's on par with that. Each one of the commanders that has voice of command can issue one order per turn, and you can't give more than one order to a group. And you have a morale check that you make, and if they pass their morale check, they do the thing. If they don't, then it's, I think fluff-wise, they describe it as like they didn't get the order correctly, or they misheard, or something like that, or the equipment was malfunctioning. Who knows? But pretty much everybody that has the voice of command also has a secondary special rule called, I think it's a senior officer. Anybody who naturally has voice of command in their actual entry has, where is that? Yeah, senior officer, which allows them to do 2 orders. So there are some things, and I think some war gear or upgrades and things like that, warlord traits, that'll give you a voice of command, but the ones that already have it already have two orders per turn, which is nice, because you're not going to have a ton of HQs on the table in all likelihood. Well, actually, that's not really true. You could have a bunch of them because you have command squads in all the infantry platoons. So there is a possibility for more of that. I just want to double check before I get too far down that rabbit hole that the commanders in the platoon command squads actually do still have that special rule as well, because the HQ version of them does. But let's just make sure. Platoon command squad, yeah, they do have voice of command, but they do not have senior officer, so that makes sense to me. They can give commands, but they're not going to give 2, because, you know, they're the runty commanders. I don't know. Anyway, it makes sense. It's balanced. As balanced as 40k is going to get. The next big new thing that you guys have all seen is the Taurox. These guys have been a somewhat contested model. They're not particularly attractive. I've got this one that's partly assembled here. They're super small. I don't know. They've got lots of nice detail, but they're kind of tiny. I mean, it's a little bitty thing. So, I mean, they're supposed to hold 10 models, and they don't look like they could even hold like 5. So, you know. Same with rhinos. I mean, you can't really... There's no way you can fit 10 Marines in a rhino, I don't think. At least not comfortably or reasonably. So, there's been a lot of talk about the Tauroxes replacing chimeras. And to a degree, I might agree. They are really nice. I'm gonna find the actual entry with the costs here. Yeah, the Chimera is still base 65 points, armor 12, 10, 10, and the Taurox is base 50. So it's 15 points less. That's a pretty significant percentage drop in points. It is only armor 11, 10, 10. All the other stats are the same ballistic skill, same hull points, but it does have a special rule that allows it to basically do the dangerous terrain test reroll like a dozer blade does, just innately on it. And it only takes 10 models instead of 12. You know, I don't see anything telling me how many fire points it has. But then again, I don't see it on the Chimera anymore either, which seems a little strange. So both of them can take equipment upgrades from the list, but at 50 points, that's not bad with a twin-linked autocannon. I think I'd honestly probably take a twin-linked autocannon over a multi-laser most of the time anyway, because it's 2 shots, re-rolling fails, so at strength 7, AP 4. That's pretty good, and it's a fairly long distance too. I think it's got a longer range than the multi-laser. The multi-laser is 36 and the autocannon is 48. So you do get one more shot with the multi-laser, but it's lower strength, worse AP, and shorter distance. So if you're not taking anything with an independent character attached to it, if you're just taking 10-man squads, might be the way to go. They are relatively cheap dollar-wise kit. I think they're $45. I guess it's not that cheap, but what is really with Games Workshop these days. And then you have the upgraded version of that, the Torox Prime, which for 30 points more, base of 80 points, you get an upgraded version of it where you swap out the autocannons for a twin-linked hotshot volley gun, which is like a hotshot las, just with salvo 2-4 instead of just the normal 2 shots. Which is still at AP 3, which is really, really great for hunting down all that 3-up armor. But it also has the Torox Battle Cannon, which is just like a slightly weaker version of the Lehman Russ Battle Cannon. So that's really great, and it's heavy instead of ordnance or anything. So it's just rolling around firing that thing off all over the place. So that's really pretty sweet. Not to mention the Torox Prime is fast. It's a fast transport, so and you can only take those on the Tempesta Scions, the Stormtroopers. Let's just call them Stormtroopers. Let's make that a thing. Let's not give into the Games Workshop trying to find words they can copyright thing. All right. So yeah, we've talked about the Toroxes now, and so we've also got this new Duel Kit. You've got the flat gun, and you've got the Bombard or battery, the Wyvern and the Hydra. So hail Hydra. The Wyvern has a really excellent gun on it. It's a mortar battery. And let me find the actual entry for that thing. I've got too many little markers here now. I can't find the one I'm looking for. Let's see here. There's the Hydra autocannon. There we go. The Storm Shard mortar. It's not particularly heavy duty. It's essentially the same stat line as a bolter with slightly less AP, but it's heavy tube barrage, and it ignores cover. It's heavy tube barrage blast, ignores cover, and has shred. So that's pretty nice. I like it, especially for the points, because, and we'll get to it in a second. I'll give you a quick breakdown on the points there, and then the Hydra autocannon, which is on obviously the Hydra, is really nice Skyfire autocannon. So you got some Skyfire support for very, very cheap. Let's see, am I missing anything in here that I wanted to talk about? Okay, so all the Torox weapons are quite nice too. I mean, it's pretty obvious Games Workshop is pushing for the Toroxes to become a more standard thing in Guard Army because they want to sell you a bunch of them. And to be honest, I don't really have a problem with the way they look. I just think they're a little small. Like if I was going to do something, I think I'd like bulk them out a little bit. But I'm not too unhappy with these guys. If anything, they just look a little bit more realistic when it comes to scaling, as opposed to just being these hulking cathedrals on wheels, or treads, as the case may be. So they really do have a pretty good array of weapons. For the Torox Primes, you can take the Torox Battle Cannon like I described before, which actually it's like a one-shot blast version of an autocannon. It's like the same stat line except one shot and blast. So that's nice. And then you have the Gatling cannon that you can put up top. Instead of that, you can swap out the battle cannon for the Gatling cannon, and it's more or less like a no AP bolter heavy 10. So lots of shots for taking out swarms of stuff. And then you also have a missile launcher, which is, for all intents and purposes, 2 missile launchers strapped together. So I like that one a lot because it gives you the versatility, but you don't have the option of firing flak missiles. So if you want Skyfire, you're not going to get it with the Torox Prime. All right, let's keep on flipping through here. There's a few more things I marked in here I wanted to mention. Okay, so here's another thing that's not new, but it's something that I thought you guys might want to know, just because if you're looking to buy stuff to put one of these armies together and you want to get a head start on it before the weekend when this codex comes out, you're going to have the same sort of infantry platoon system that you had before, where you have one platoon command squad. You have to have one and only one, and then you have 2 to 5 infantry squads, and then 0 to 5 heavy weapon squads, 0 to 3 special weapon squads, and 1 conscript, or 0 to 1 conscript squads. So you've got a ton of stuff there, and that's just one that's one troop's choice. So I think that if you're trying to go that way, and you're trying to do lots of swarmy guard stuff, that's definitely still viable. You can swarm the field if you want to. You also do have in the troops choice the veteran squad, which I feel is a little bit more manageable using guardsmen that way. And let's see what kind of I didn't actually look to see how many special weapons. Up 2 or 3 if flamers taken. Remaining veterans have the upgrade. Have not been upgraded with one of the options above me. Replace their las guns with one of the special weapons from the special weapons list. Yay! And they can take Chimera or a normal Torox. So you also have something, and I don't know if this was in the last codex. Feel free to tell me if this is a brand new thing or if it's something I missed, because I didn't play guard this past edition. I kind of skipped an edition because I sold all my stuff and said I don't have room for all these tanks, and then I just, yeah, that was the dumbest thing ever. So the let's see here, you have different doctrines that you can give to your veterans. You can make them grenadiers, forward sentries, or demolition. So with the grenadiers, you replace their flak armor with carapace armor, so it bumps them from a 5-up save to a 4-up save. Doggone it. Sorry, guys. Make sure those speakers are down. Yeah, people Skyping me. The forward sentry doctrine, they get camo gear and snare mines, so it basically means that anything attacking them with the snare mines, anything trying to assault you, is going to count as a disordered charge. And then the camo gear gives them a 6-up cover save out in the open, or a +1 to their cover save if they're in cover. So that's nice. And the demolitions, you give the entire squad melt bombs, and 1 guy gets a demo charge. So that's pretty sweet. It's all pretty straightforward, but it's a nice little extra piece of flavor, I think, that helps kind of differentiate your squads. So if you wanted to do your grenadiers with a whole bunch of gas masks and things, I think it'd be really fun and flavorful. Or you just want to do like head swaps or different like logos and things, or color schemes slightly different on those. That's a good reason to break up your color schemes, I think, and still stay coherent. Okay, so let's look at the costing on dedicated transports. Not dedicated transports. I'm sorry, we already did that. The costing on the heavy support options, the new ones, versus some of the old ones. The brand new two, the Wyvern and the Hydra, are both just dirt cheap. They're great points wise. The Hydra, is only 70 points. So you could take a full squad of them for 210 points. That's without upgrades. Still for about the same cost that you might take a fully upgraded Leman Russ variant for. The cheapest Leman Russ variant is 120 points, and some of the more expensive ones can get all the way up to 170 base, plus upgrades for sponsons and war gear and vehicle upgrades and things like that. So you could take three pieces of armor that are just bringing down every flyer in sight for about 200 points. And same for the Wyvern. It's actually cheaper. It's 65 points a piece. And so you could bring 3 of those for 195 points. And that's just one heavy support slot. Because you can take them as a what's the word I'm looking for? A unit. A squadron. There we go. Squadron. There's the word for it. So that's definitely worth taking a look at. And I'm not sure how well those will magnetize, but I can't imagine they'd be too hard. Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of people taking a Hydra or 3 to combat air support, because God knows everybody's bringing flyers, and this codex could really put a hurting on. I think I said hurting on a lot of those flyer heavy lists. I mean, against the Necron Flying Circus, you could shoot them out of the sky really quickly, I think, with Skyfire autocannons. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it as far as the brand new stuff goes. We talked about the Warlord traits. We talked about the new orders. I'm not going to give you all the details because I don't know. I don't want to sit here and go through every single little detail of the codex. If you guys want to discuss some aspect of this codex, I am more than happy to do more videos discussing my thoughts on them and talking about what you guys want to talk about. So leave me some comments about what you think about this new Guard Codex, or Astra Militarum as it is now known. And I'd love to have more conversations with you about it. I'm hoping to have some painting tutorials for those, and actually for some other models from completely not 40k related games coming up here soon. So thank you again, and just as a heads up, I'm going to be posting a lot of our live shows here on YouTube now. We're doing it on our own Twitch channel. Those air Mondays, every other Monday night. So I guess it's not really a way that I can tell you which is the every other. But it's every other Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's GMT -5 on Twitch.com or twitch.tv/brushforhire. So I'll put a link in the comments below, and we'll also be putting out reminders for those shows on our Facebook page. So if you follow our Facebook page, you should be getting updates on those. You'll know when they're coming. And actually, I think I just set up a Twitch thing so that anytime I go live on Twitch, it'll send out a tweet. So keep an eye out for that too. You can follow us on Twitter. Yeah, you know. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button to let us know that you enjoyed it and want us to do more videos like this. Also, if we're doing something wrong or you think we should do something different, leave us a comment. Or if you just want to say, hey, also leave us a comment. So we enjoy our interactions with you guys. So thank you guys again for watching. Check us out in all the places that we live, and until next time, happy wargaming.